device is a mechanical CPR machine. And with that, I guess we can,
Yeah, we've got two of these already. We got them on our frontline ambulances. If anybody follows our Facebook page, as you can see where we've been getting a lot more saves with them. So they are a viable resource when we're talking about codes. This would be to supply our next two ambulances, our Med 3 and Med 4, with the same device. It's 100% grant if we get it. So we'd be asking for the ability to be able to apply for the grant. And the total grant is $34,521.22.
okay. Question by anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve the ability to apply for the grant for the two Lucas devices for the fire department.
I'll second that. Is that 34, was that the total for both, two of them? Both, okay.
For both of them, $34,521.22.
Okay, thank you. And committee, if there's no other further questions, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, ayes have it, 3-0.
Thank you.
Number 3, consider request from the Park and Building Supervisor to replace the humidifier at City Hall. Jake, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, right now anyway.
All right. Yeah, basically, at City Hall, our humidifier has been kind of out of service the last 3 or 4 years. And I would just like to get that thing back up and operating, mainly because I think health reasons with all the employees there. And also, we just got a lot of new carpet just reinstalled at City Hall. So I got 3 price quotes, which I think you guys all have. That complete control was just over $19,000. Rapid sheet metal around $15,360, and Tri-City $14,599. After looking at the quotes from Complete Control, there seems to be a little bit higher because they were going to replace all the controls, which we don't need to do that. So I don't see a reason to put new controls in there. And right now, after speaking to a couple of these vendors, prices are just going to continue to rise. They're looking at a 9% increase, probably coming May 1st for air conditioners, heaters, and then obviously humidifiers like this one that we're trying to get into City Hall. So that's basically all I have on that.
So what's the amount you're looking at, Jake?
They kind of range from 14,500 all the way up to 19,500. Rapid sheet metal being in the middle at 15,300.
Can I ask a few questions?
Yep, go ahead, Jake.
Is there a staff recommendation on which quote you think is the best?
Yeah, after talking to my building tech, the thing with Complete Control, which we kind of want to stay away from, they would add this humidifier into their software program, which then if we had issues with this humidifier, we would have to call them for tech support. That tech support is not free. So they recommended kind of staying away from, I guess, the more advanced technology, in a way to say. Otherwise, basically, Rapid Sheet Metal and Tri-City were almost pretty comparable on the equipment that they would be installing, and like I said before, the building tech that we have here recommended one of those two.
And Tri-City's the cheaper option, less expensive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're looking at about a difference of 800, a little bit less than $800.
Okay. Motion to approve the purchase of a new humidifier from the Tri-City for, let me pull up the number here.
14.5?
Is it 14.5?
14,599 to be precise.
99, okay, yeah.
$14,599.
Yep. And then rapid sheet metal was 15,362.
Basically the same? Or,
Basically the same. Yep. Correct.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion, committee or anybody? Hearing nothing, committee will vote. All in favor respond by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, ayes have it, 3-0. Thank you. Item number 4, consider a request from the Park and Building Supervisor to remove all the windows at the Centralia Center and re-insulate around the windows. I guess, Jake, you can have it again.
All right. Basically, right now we have Precision windows come in last spring. They removed a couple, actually just one window from. It would have been the west side of the building. When they took that window out, there's absolutely no insulation around the entire window, on the sides, on the bottom, or on top. And then through further investigation, it's pretty much every window on the building. One of the staff members actually has videotape of the shades in one of the offices actually swaying back and forth because of the cold air coming inside the building. So I think we're looking at redoing these to 9 office buildings, and all these rooms are currently occupied by not city staff, but lease staff. There are 2 windows in the low center that are being occupied by city staff, but everything else is on lease staff. So I think it's just kind of important to keep these rooms so they're not 60 degrees during the winter. So they're not very efficient at this time. And I received a quote from K&W and Precision. The difference between K&W and Precision was about $1,000. K&W was $16,906, and Precision came in at $17,950. Both businesses that they could probably fit us in to do the work sometime this summer or early fall.
Is this, I know we got a lot of projects going on over there. Is this in the capital improvement budget over there, or where's this coming from?
Yeah, we have a few, for the Centralia Center, we have a couple different issues that, from the building standpoint is one is the windows need to be replaced. Obviously, there's no insulation, a lot of heat loss, and obviously replacing these, you're going to get a return on your investment throughout the years is just an energy savings. But also on the horizon is that we have the rooftop units that are approaching 20 years old, and plus, the roof has some issues with leaking, and the replacement of that roof, we're looking at between 1 to 3 years away. So, we definitely have some major building issues over there. As you may recall from previous budgets, since inception of that facility, we've always put $25,000 away in a replacement account. And that replacement account is funded, the new parking lot is one of the big items that, and currently we have about $200,000 in that account, as you see in the Carryover Resolution, that would use to pay, obviously, for the window replacement. But obviously, with the rooftop units and the roof, we're going to have to look for some additional funding here in the near future to complete those projects.
Thank you for that update. So is this I thought I read somewhere in here that this is just taking the current windows out, putting insulation in and putting them back in. You said we need new windows too? Or is
I meant, I guess, if I misspoke, it's actually taking the window out and actually insulating them around them and putting the same window back. I do believe, and Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, the integrity of the windows is intact. It's the surrounding lack of insulation that's causing the heat loss and the cold air to come through. And that's why it needs to be
Correct. There's
addressed.
nothing wrong with the windows. They're just taking the windows out, re-insulating, recaulking, all that stuff. So yeah, they're just taking the windows out and then putting the exact same windows back in. And there'll be 9 very large windows that they'll be doing.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to pull these out, insulate them, and then have to get new ones in like 5 years
No.
or whatever. With that said, I'll make a motion to approve the quote from KW Glass for $16,906.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve with K&W Glass, 16906. There's no further discussion. Committee will vote. All in favor respond by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Item number 5. Consider request from Wisconsin Rapids Women's Softball Association, Jamie L. Mcdonald, agent, for renewal of the 6-month retail Class B fermented malt beverages license from May 1, 2022 to October 31, 2022 for the premises located at Mead Field, 311 17th Avenue South. Anybody here? Jake?
Jennifer's not here tonight, Sue. There's no issues with this, correct, that you know of?
No, there is not.
Nothing that I know of either.
All right, then I'll make a motion to approve the Wisconsin Rapids Women's Softball Association request for a Class B liquor license.
I'll second that. The motion is second to approve the license. If there's no further questions or discussion, committee will vote. All in favor respond by aye. Aye. Opposed, ayes have it, 3-0. Item 6, consider for approval a temporary retail Class B fermented malt beverages license for Centralia, Wisconsin Cultural Center, 2651 8th Street South, for an open mic event to be held on Friday, April 29th, 2022, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I think that's just what's been done in the past, Sue, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
I'll make a motion to approve the Class B fermented malt beverage license for Central Wisconsin Cultural Center.
I'll second that. If there's no further discussion, again, committee, will vote. All in favor respond by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, 3-0. Item 8, review and consider for approval the 2022 budget amendment. Mr. Tim,
I think we're on number 7.
which one?
Number 7 would be.
Oh,
Yep.
jumped over, I crossed the one off, no wonder. Crossed the one off. Review and consider for approval proposals for acquisition and upgrade of financial software.
Okay, in the packet you saw, you'll see that there were 2 proposals for software. We'll be looking tonight for approval of both of those. The first one, the New Roads Public Works Management System, is basically an upgrade of our current software that that we run on our AS400. Basically, this is a new version that would be, and I do believe Tyler can probably speak to this a little bit better as far as, the AS400, but we'd be taking the software off our AS400, which is hard to find support for. It's a kind of an antiquated system. Would that be correct, Tyler? You could probably explain it better.
Come on up, Tyler.
Yeah, to put it lightly, we're living on borrowed time with the AS400, and it's the only application that we currently have hosted on that. So replacing this software would basically, in turn, make me able to take that hardware off of our network, which would be a very big positive in my terms. So it's a net gain for me as well.
And we'd host that on our existing servers.
Yeah, yep. There would only be an additional cost we have, so the application can be hosted on one of our servers that we're already doing a similar just data host, and there wouldn't be another need for a license for us to do anything as far as hardware goes. So the cost that we see is the cost that we would be paying. So.
And the current software, just to give you an explanation of what it is, it's for our cost system employees. And by cost system employees, that's our street department, parks and rec department, wastewater, and engineering. And the reason why they're on this is because they don't have like one home budget, like let's say the finance department where all our wages go to one thing. The cost system employees charge the various budgets, whether it be street maintenance, snow removal, wastewater, engineering. And so we need the software to develop cost accounts so that when they record their time based on the various activities, that those are then costed to the appropriate budgetary account. It's a holdover from our old software, but it's a very effective software for our needs. And basically by upgrading this, and then the additional benefit of upgrading this is that it'll be easier to implement into our current financial software, the Munis, that we implemented a couple of years ago.
Any questions by anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, Jake?
So this is not SaaS. It's not subscription based one time.
I don't know the ongoing, if there's ongoing support. No, it's not a one time. I believe it's a ongoing yearly contract amount.
Right. It would be the one time. It would be the $12,000, which would include the upgrade to the new version, and then the conversion from our old the AS400 to the new server of all our existing information. The annual cost of $500 is the same as what we're paying currently. So, those fees would stay the same. So we're already paying $590 a month to maintain the current system. That would be the same amount for the new version.
So it's subscription based, but we're paying to upgrade basically.
Yep.
Got it.
And just to point out is like when we were researching this and we were talking with ACS, it's like we're one of only two that are currently on the version that's hosted on the AS400. So it shows you that just the migration is just the way to go from this. And plus, we can no longer support the AS400. And plus, we don't want to maintain or pay support fees for the AS400 for one application when we can put it on our existing servers.
Right. So we pay, I believe, and I'd have to relook it up. We pay somewhere around $2,800 a year just for next day replacement, hardware support for the AS400, and that would completely go away. So that's a net gain.
It won't be replaced by fees for the updated system.
No, because that's going on an existing server that we're already paying licensing for. So it'd be, I guess, that licensing isn't going to go down or up.
Right.
But the support for the AS400, and then I just kind of wanted to stress too, with the AS400, that was the piece of hardware I kind of highlighted when I came into the city as we need to replace. And not that we haven't really wanted to or tried to, it's just that we've been kind of pigeonholed on this software, and being able to upgrade and put it on a Windows box you know, like I said, we're living on borrowed time. So if that thing goes down tomorrow, you know, I want to be able to calculate how many manpower hours we would need to get the data back up and going again. So it would be a great move in my professional opinion to get off the AS400. So
Excellent. So when I used to work in SaaS, I would never let my customers purchase a new product without professional development.
yeah,
Do you guys feel you need some, or is it, what I don't know the
I think
details of
it's-
the system, but I would hate to go forward and
Yeah.
implement this, and then while we're implementing, I mean, even if it's just remote, couple hours for you and Tim, is it different in the fact that you'll need it? 'Cause I just felt a lot of times when customers would think they didn't need it and they could get into it and figure it out themselves, they didn't have the most effective implementation.
I believe there was cost in the quote for training and for some of the developmental hours.
Right, it includes implementation, training, and also it's just a newer version of what we're basically working with today. We sat through a demo of the new version, and basically, from what I could see, it looked pretty much and functioned like our existing software. It's just that it's a newer version, it's a better version, it's not an AS400, so like all the report names are the same and things like that. So, and then plus, we had some staff go up to Clark County that's using it currently, and they walk through, and they also use the RT Visions, which we'll discuss next. So we went up and looked at another municipality, a county that was using it, and our staff came back and says, yeah, this is going to work.
So there's training included is what? Okay. Trying to
Okay.
find quotes here to make a motion.
Or do you want to wait for the?
The next one?
Yeah, you can either make separate motions, or I guess just.
Sure, no, go ahead.
Okay. The next proposal is for RT Vision. And basically what this is going to afford the city is that this is going to be the first step before new visions. And currently with our new roads or the current product that we have is that all the employees in the cost system, which for full-time is about 55, plus you're going to have seasonal employees about 18, have to fill out a daily timesheet. And Jay, you know what that's, you've been through that, where every day you fill out a timesheet and you put the various cost accounts for the various activities we have. And those daily manual timesheets then have to be input into the software. What RT Vision will enable us to do is that the employees will be able to choose from a drop-down menu and select the items, the activities, and the cost accounts and the equipment, and then that'll automatically then be uploaded into the new roads visions. Currently, we're doing that manually. So you're looking at, on a pay period, you're looking at 550 timesheets have to be input into the system. And then when you look at, between, say on an average 4 different cost accounts on a yearly basis, that's 57,000 entries that we have to manually input. And basically what this is going to force us to do is that the employees are going to do it in the RT Visions, and then that'll implement into the new roads, and it'll save us a lot of data, manual data input.
Who's been doing the manual data input?
We have 2 people that do it. A couple years ago, the person in the finance department, we had a half-time position that basically that was a good chunk of their job that did it. And then when we were looking at new software and going to the Munis and things like that, when that person retired, we did not replace that person with anticipation that we can automate this process. So, but in the meantime, obviously we had a period of there where, in transition, where basically these duties were just kind of assigned to 2 people, one in Park and Rec and one in the street department to input these things. And so with this RT Visions, we're hoping to alleviate those extra duties that they assumed a couple of years ago.
Yeah, God bless their souls. That's not the funnest job. I can't find, I mean, there's a lot of numbers in here. Which one is a total for each?
Sure.
software?
For the new roads, it'd be 12,000. And then for the RT Visions, it would be, the first year would be 12,820, and basically that's 8,320 for the actual software, and then, or excuse me, $4,500 for the software and 8,320 for the annual maintenance fee. And the annual maintenance fee is based on $130 per user. We were kind of going through this, we kind of negotiated with them and saying, hey, we have a lot of seasonal help, and, we don't feel we should pay for the whole year, so they gave us a credit of a half for seasonal employees. So it'd be, annual maintenance would be 8,320. The actual installation, setup, and training would be 4,500. And then when I kind of looked at what I had in the budget for, obviously it's, with software, the big thing is the annual maintenance fees. And I think with the approval of these two proposals and what I had in the 2022 budget, I do believe there's a difference between $600 between what I budgeted and what our annual maintenance fees. So we're basically right in the ballpark of what I estimated we would be with saving, the various software fees for what we're not doing anymore with our old system.
So new roads is 12,000, RT Visions is 12,820 for year one, and we're only purchasing year one at this time, so there only needs, or are we purchasing it?
Well, and then obviously any of the annual software maintenance fees would just be included in the annual budget and approved through that.
So what amount needs to be motioned for each?
12,000 for the new roads, and then I guess we can just say 4,500. Year one would be 12,820, and that would be the software plus the annual fees. It's however you want to do it. I mean, the annual fees are already in the budget, so you could probably just do the 4,500.
So RT Visions 4,500 for year one?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll make a motion. Sure.
If you go back to the RT Vision one, in their proposal, number 3, Munis interface, $155 an hour. Are we going to have to, Munis hasn't exactly been kind to us.
Right, and that was inquiries when we were going through the software demonstration with them. It was kind of like, we want to know, like, okay, what could be interfaced? Now, if this was going to RT Visions to Munis, then we might need that, but we're going from RT Vision to new roads, and then from new roads. And then if we wanted customized, obviously, payroll import from new roads to the Munis, then, they could design and import for us. I do believe, I think it was $155 an hour. But right now, we feel that, what we can do, when they were up at looking at Clark County and what they did, there's an export out of new roads that goes into Excel that can be easily imported into Munis. So at this point, we don't anticipate we'll need that. That's how we're currently using it. It's just that what's coming out of the current software through the AS400, the Excel import, it needs to be manipulated because it's very poor. But with the new system, it'll be very clean and very easy, and that'll also save us some steps in the payroll process.
Thank you.
I'll make the motion to purchase new roads for $12,000 and RT Visions for $4,500.
I'll second that.
A motion to second, for the new roads, 12,000 and 4,500 for RT Vision, 4,500 that. Motion to second, if there's no further discussion, committee will vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, ayes have it. Now we'll go to number 8, I do believe. Review and consider for approval the 2022 budget amendment.
Okay. And then, as you recur from previous years, this is an annual carryover resolution, and basically this addresses the carryovers in our, equipment or depreciation accounts or any grants that we have that we can't afford. It's very similar to last year's. Obviously, just the numbers have changed. So, if you have any specific questions, I provided explanations in the packet as best as I could for each of the line items, and I don't know if there's any questions regarding any one of those, but like I say, this is a lot of it, what we, and a lot of our outlay accounts for equipment or whatever, instead of budgeting for specific purchases that can go up and down each year, we try to estimate about, how much we'd have to budget each year to cover those peaks and valleys. And then what we do is we budget that, and then we make purchases, and then any of the leftover funds we carry over the next to kind of cover the peaks, in future budgets. So, and, as part of the 2023 budget, the mayor and I have asked each department head to update their replacement schedules so that we can kind of analyze those and kind of check the numbers that we're putting away in the annual budget for an appropriation.
Yep, Jay.
I have a question. Just where are we at with this RECC industrial spur? Have they used this? Are we still getting paid for this?
Right, and basically what that is that we have industrial track agreements with the tenants out in the RECC, that basically they're charged, I do believe it's $20 per car that comes in there. And what we do is, when we bill those and we take those funds and we put it aside for any track maintenance that we need. So if all of a sudden, there's a repair that needs to be needed to the track, that's what would pay for that fund. So the users of that industrial spur are theoretically paying for the maintenance of that spur.
Okay. And it might be a little bit off topic, but what happened with the deal that we had out in the East Side Commerce with, they were going to rent a spur from us with a monthly fee?
Sue might be able to be,
CN was not working with us on that, so that kind of went by the wayside. They would not approve that to happen.
Did but we collected on that for a while, didn't we? Or,
Once the agreement was signed, I think they were paying just a really nominal amount each month for a couple
Yep.
months,
yeah, there was a minimum fee in the agreement.
right? But now the agreement has been terminated because we couldn't work it out with CN.
thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve budget amendment number 2 of 2022.
Second. All right.
Mic back on. Opposed, ayes have it. Aye for me too, so 3-0. Thank you. Number 9, audited bills.
To be checked 11992 to 12431.
One more time, Tim. I didn't catch it. I was
I'm
wondering if
sorry.
anybody else did.
Check 11992 to 12431.
Motion to approve checks 11992 through 12431.
I'll second that. Committee, all those in favor respond by aye.
All right.
Opposed, ayes have it. Number 10 is to set our next meeting date, whatever the committee was made up to be, I guess, next time. The first Tuesday of May would be the 3rd, if we'd like to set that. Oh, yeah. Or should we let, whatever the new committee, I guess, comes up with what they want to do? Okay. Which will be later this month. I mean, that'd be plenty of time, so I assume they'll fall on the same day, but if for some reason. Yep. Yep. Okay. Number 11. Consider the sale of vacant city-owned building located at 161 and 163 3rd Street North, parcel IDs 34-08156 and 34-08157. In open session, the committee may vote to go into closed session under section 19.85, parent 1, parent E of the Wisconsin statutes, which reads, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. In closed session, the committee may discuss negotiations and strategy regarding the sale of the above property, and the committee will return to open session. In open session, the committee may continue to discuss the sale of a vacant city-owned building located at 161 and 163 3rd Street North, parcel IDs 34-08156 and 34-08157, and may take action on the sale of said property. Committee, what is your wishes?
I'll move to go into closed session.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second to go into closed session. All those in favor respond by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, ayes have it. And with that, we're in closed session.
And so
Alternative edge into that newer, bigger building, more secure for other future plans. One idea is to grow in it, potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I've got dozens of things, ideas that I like to do in it, whether it be food manufacturing.
Sure. And this is in regards to the current business alternate edge moving into 161 and 163 3rd Street. I'll make the motion that we accept the offer as presented with tonight and the committee referral from Kyle Kearns, which is a sale for the price of $38,000, the closing date of April 29th, 2022, and purchased as is.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve. There's no further discussion or questions by anybody. Committee will vote. All in favor respond by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the ayes have it. There.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oops. Well, I suppose I got to read it first, I suppose. Item number 12, the committee will vote to go into closed session pursuant to Section 19.85, Parent 1, Parent E of the Wisconsin statutes, which reads, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. In closed session, the committee will discuss a proposal for an organizational study and analysis of the police department and police chief candidate recruitment. The committee will return to open session. The committee may continue discussion regarding a proposal for an organizational study and analysis of the police department and police chief candidate recruitment and the appropriation of funds for the study of and police chief candidate recruitment, and may take action on those items. With that, committee, what are your wishes? Motion and second to go into closed session. Committee will vote. All in favor respond by aye. Aye. Opposed, ayes have it. We're in closed session. Thank you.